This week, we're going to be learning about how to use colored pencils or even our crayons to create texture. And we're going to be creating our own art piece inspired by If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. So we're going to watch the video first of If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and then we're going to dive into our art project where we're going to learn how to color in cookies with lots of texture and colors and so much more. So let's enjoy reading the book first, and then we're going to jump right into the lesson where you're going to need 2 pieces of paper, your colored pencils or crayons, a pair of scissors, and a glue stick. So let's get started. So in front of you, you're going to have this colorful chocolate chip cookies handout. If you don't have it, you can just quickly draw different shapes and bumpy lines, almost look like clouds of your cookies. The first thing that I want you to do is to take out a yellow crayon or a yellow color pencil, and I want you to just color all of them in that yellow color. It doesn't have to be filling it in completely a lot, but I would like you to go through and fill in each of those cookies with a yellow base. Once you've gone in and filled in each of your cookies with the yellow, don't worry if you get outside of the lines because we're going to cut these anyways. The next thing is I would like you to grab the color orange. What's fun and interesting to think about is coloring in our cookies with yellow, and then we're going to do another layer. So think about layering is when you're building. You start with something like a Lego piece. You build and you put stuff on top of it and you keep growing it. Same with a sandwich or a cheeseburger. You know, there's always a top bun, a bottom bun, and you have things inside of it. When you're looking at cookies or foods or different things, there really isn't a wrong way to color. Sometimes you'll look and you'll see a variety of colors. Nothing is just always red or blue. It has different tints to it or different shades. So it looks darker blue here or lighter blue, or maybe it's picking up a little bit of yellow. So when you look at objects and things, think about that. Once you're done with the orange layer on top of the yellow, I would like you to grab a brown color pencil or crayon. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to do a layer over that. But as you're making these layers, don't worry about covering and taking away the yellow and the orange. Just add in that color on each of them in different spots. So again, you don't want to cover all of the yellow and all of the orange because why do we have those layers then? So just go through and think about the brown is a darker color, and usually something on the bottom of, like think of a shadow. Where's the shadow going to be? Maybe little bits in the middle, a little bit on the sides, definitely on the bottom, so then it looks more 3D, like you can hold it, right? So go through and add in that layer. Once you're done with your brown, I would like you to take out a green. And with the green, you're not covering everything. You're just adding in little touches of it throughout your picture. So each of those cookies, just add in a couple little dark shades of green, not covering the whole thing. And you'll do this with a few other colors too. And you'll notice the next time you look at cookies, you're going to start seeing lots of different colors. Now that you finished coloring, you're going to grab a pair of scissors and you're going to cut out each of these cookies. So you'll notice that what I'm doing is it's really hard to take an entire piece of paper and cut it. So slowing it down for this moment here for you, I have broken them into chunks. And that just makes it easier for me to hold the paper and to really cut these out. So I ended up cutting maybe 2 cookies out at a time in a big space, and then I slowly cut around them. Remember, one hand holds and rotates the paper. Your scissors are not moving much at all. So look at my hand. You'll notice that I am going to cut each of these cookies out. I'm organizing my papers as I go, and the scissors are not turning. My hand is turning the paper. So I'm making this easier for myself and really keeping my workstation clean. And this is a really good skill to have, is learning how to organize as you work. So I have my scrap side, I have my finished side, and then I have a pile that are the ones that I need to cut. And their cookies are really going to start showing through now, which makes it a lot of fun because we're going to begin our next part shortly. Before we recycle our scraps, I want to use it. So here I'm just taking a chunk or a piece of it, and I'm going to use my brown color pencil. The ones that I'm using are a woodless color pencil, so it doesn't have any other wrappers on it, and I don't need to sharpen it, which is a lot of fun. But you can also use your crayon, and you're just going to fill as much of it as you can. Don't worry about what the shape of the paper looks like. Go in and make it as dark as you can and not really having much white showing, because this paper, we're going to cut our chocolate chips from. Now that I've gone over this little scrap piece of paper as best as I can, I am going to take out my scissors again, and I'm just going to cut out random shapes that look like chocolate chips. They could look like they're melted, they could be triangles, they could be any weird or odd shapes. Think of them as you don't want them bigger than your cookie, but you want them to be small enough that works for going on yours. So I'm going to do this in little stages where I'm going to cut just a couple out and work on a cookie at a time, and then I'm going to cut some more out. That way I don't have papers all over my desk and losing my chocolate chips. So as you can see, I'm going to take the glue stick and I'm going to just put a little dab of where I want the chocolate chip to go on there. We're not covering the whole cookie. You're just putting a tiny piece on there. So you can see I did 3 of them. And what I'm going to do is, as I'm working, I'm going to make a done pile. And then I'm going to have the pile that I need left in order to put my chocolate chips on. So move your chocolate chips all over. Think about when you get a chocolate chip. It might have a bunch of chocolate chips in one area. Some might be melted. Some might be in different spots. It's up to you. So have a working pile, a done pile, and then as you go and you notice that you need to cut more chocolate chips, do so. Once you're done with cutting the chocolate chips, I want you to take those scraps and recycle them and grab your other piece of paper. Now, on here, you can create a pattern. So, remember, a pattern is a repetition of something, of lines or shapes or colors. And I want you to come up with your own, whether it's waves or you come up with a design, and fill the whole paper with colors and lines and textures. So here you can see I've changed it up and I'm using different colors and I'm just playing with my own ideas and how I feel. So listen to the music and create what you think inspires you for what you're going to place your cookies on. All right, so now we're in the final part of our drawing. What you're going to do is we're going to make a stack with our cookies. So we're going to overlap them. That means you can have some on top of each other or under or next to. And instead of putting the glue stick on the paper, you're going to put it on the back of your chocolate chip cookie. And this helps so you get the exact placement. It sticks in the right spot as you go. So here, put one cookie at a time and kind of place another cookie overlapping it on top. So you're not covering another one, you want to see them, but have it like a leaning of a tower if you want, or if you could build your own thing with cookies, what would you create? How would you use them? So just build them up on your paper, and when you're done, remember to close your glue stick cap and first twist it down and then put the glue stick cap on nice and tight. Now that you're finished and you've put your glue stick away, make sure your area is nice and clean and take a picture for me on Seesaw. I can't wait to see your colorful cookies and the awesome pattern and design you make.